Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to ESL or ENL period 8.
ESL.
Yeah, ESL. Kotaiba wants me to say ESL because he likes it better. So I understand. Okay, so last time, sorry, Kotaiba came to the door and I had to stop. So this is going to be part 3 of chapter, what is this chapter called? Back Home? Question mark. So hopefully this is the last part. Oh, we only have 2 pages left.
Yeah.
Hip, hip, hooray. Okay, so I'm on page 85, the second paragraph down, and it says, and everyday life did go on. So every day you had to live, right?
Yeah,
Think about you. I mean, you just, maybe when you lived in Iraq, you just had to go on with your life. You couldn't live every day and being scared all the time, right? No one had a choice about that. People had to go out and shop when they ran out of food and other necessary supplies. People had to go to work when they could. They had to make a living somehow. That means they had to make money somehow. Yeah.
So, why they not done like only in the? So you know the rocket came the night.
Yeah, the rocket did come in, but the one where it shattered the window came during the day.
Oh, okay. So why they not done like morning or something like that?
I know. Maybe they are. That's a good idea.
Gonna save a life.
It could be. It could save their life. Yeah. They had to make a living somehow, so they had to make money. But we women and girls didn't go out much. Not with a war raging in the streets, crawling with soldiers. And no one was going to school much in those last days of Mujahideen. Am I saying that right? Mujahideen.
No,
Mujahideen.
Yeah, you got
Okay, rule. Neither boys or girls. So on most days, schools were closed because nowadays, every day was a bad rocket day. Instead of like a snow day like we have here, a bad rocket day. How terrible is that? Not knowing if you're going to die. Terrible.
It's raining rockets.
It's raining rockets. It's a bad rocket day. Right, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Terrible, huh?
It is.
What is Mohammed? This is Mohammed.
I know we can't see Mohammed.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I could not reconcile myself to this way of life. She's like, I did not want to live this life. It's terrible. I talked to my father about it. I said, this way of life is not for me. I don't want to live like this. I want to leave Afghanistan. I told him about Germany and all I had seen there. And what could my poor father say? When she's saying my poor father, it doesn't mean like no money. Like if you got hurt, if you fell, I'd say, oh, poor Kotaiba. Like, oh, I feel so bad for you. But the other word poor is like you don't have any money. She means like the nice, like my poor father. He's sad, like he doesn't know what to do. He worked his heart out. He worked really hard and risked his life each day to make a life for his family. Well, my child, this is the world, he would say with a sigh. We just have to live in it and get by as best as we can. I kept demanding to know why we Afghans had to be like this, fighting all the time, building nothing, clamping down on our own freedoms. What was wrong with us? Turn the page. What?
Can I say something?
Sure.
No problem. You know, like every no. Seriously, keep it like it. Keep it like that. So no.
Okay,
everyone,
go ahead.
Everyone knows that his country is the best country and have the war, and all the countries is good except his country. But he don't know like the other people. Like she knows that Afghanistan is bad, you know, like it's bad and there's a war. But she don't know like in Iraq or in Syria, there's people like dying every day. Like
That's true.
yeah, you know, like everyone say like my country is the bad, but he don't know about the other.
It could be worse in the other countries. Yeah, true. I like how you put that. So I'm at the bottom of 85. It says my, and then I'm turning the page to 86. My father had no answers. All he could do was alleviate the rigors of my life, was to give me sewing lessons, so to make her feel better and nicer.
what? Wait.
What are you guys doing? Making gang signs? Come on.
No.
All he could do is teach her how to sew to make her happy. He hoped that this distraction would take my mind off the war. Guys, are you even paying attention?
Yes, I'm paying attention.
Instead of making signs and things? He hoped that learning how to sew would take her mind off the war, that would make her concentrate on something else. Later in life, I had a good reason to look back on those lessons with gratitude. It means she was very thankful. But at the time, I just plied a needle in silence and dreamed about Germany. So she's missing Germany a lot. For months after coming home, I was still wearing my German clothes, but my resolve was weakening. When I first found myself in Germany, I knew great loneliness because I could not communicate or talk with anyone because I had no family or friends there. Here in Kabul, I suffered from loneliness again, but a loneliness of my own making. I had family, but I would not melt in with them. I refused to fit in. She didn't want to be like her family. She was someone else. She's not the same girl she used to be.
Yeah, she wants to change.
She did want to change. Gradually, however, I began to see that holding myself apart from Afghanistan was not getting any closer to Germany, was not getting her any closer. So even though she's not being an Afghan girl, it's not taking her away to Germany. In fact, it did me no good at all. Instead, it cut me off from the only source of warmth and nourishment available to me in this life. So she's saying with not speaking and being with her family did not help her at all. I began to say to myself, well, this is where I live. Germany was a dream and a fantasy. I have to let go of that now. I have to accept reality. I have to understand that I'm in Afghanistan now. I'm going to live the rest of my life in Afghanistan, and I better make the best of it. So if this place is the way it is, I should just be happy with it and move on with my life, is what she told herself. One momentous day, one big day, she thought to herself, it's over. Her dream of Germany is done.
What?
Yeah, I mean, this whole time she's thinking, oh, Germany's great. I love Germany. I want to be in Germany. And then one day she's like, you know what? I'm not going back to Germany, so I'm just going to stop dreaming about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I went to my father and told him, I will put away my German clothes. From now on, I'm going to dress as an Afghan girl again. And that's a really big step for her. And although this was a moment when my defeated spirit surrendered to grim reality, so she's not happy about it. Hang on, let me finish the sentence. It also represented the moment when I opened myself to my family again and let their warmth and love back into my life. So she's going to be with her family again.
So this is her change.
Yeah, she's changing now.
Yeah.
So pay close attention to this change, my
Can you
friends.
use the blue thing that we wrote on it?
You can absolutely use this. Absolutely. Okay. Now I'm at the top of 87, and we're almost done with this chapter. Actually, this is the last page of the chapter. My oldest sister. Oh, maybe you guys know this name. Nilufar. Have you ever heard of that?
Nilufar.
Nilufar?
Yeah.
That's a pretty name.
Nilufar.
Nilufar. So her older sister had extra clothes that would fit her, that would fit Farah, and I told my parents she agreed to let me share them. My father would not hear of this. Oh, because he's a tailor. He makes clothes.
Oh.
So why wouldn't he just make Farah clothes? His daughter was coming home to him at last. So he had his daughter whose brain was in Germany, and all of a sudden she's back home now. Her mind and her body are home now, right? He said, no, you need clothes of your own. I will make you a whole new wardrobe. Do you know what a wardrobe is?
No.
All of your clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All of your clothes, yeah. I have a summer wardrobe in my closet, and I have a winter wardrobe. Clothes that I use during that time of year. In Afghanistan, new clothes have importance. One of the things we do at the Holy Festival of Eid, for example, is get new clothes so that we can feel like we are starting over.
Yeah, we do too.
Cool. With new hopes and fresh dreams. I don't know about you, but I love shopping for new clothes and wearing new clothes.
No,
Same.
especially for the Eid, you see everybody going back that day. like everybody like shopping for himself.
Yeah.
And his kid. You know, like so cool.
It's so fun. Where do you go shopping for your clothes for Eid?
I go Target, Boulevard.
Okay.
Here, I'm not talking about here. In Iraq.
Yeah, but here though, like what? Any special store? Do you go to like
Like-
Macy's, Penny's,
No,
Target?
We go to all the places,
I go Boulevard.
and the one that like is good for us, we're gonna shop from. We don't have like a special one.
Okay.
Every year or every month.
You like to just
there's
find new
yeah,
nice
there's a
clothes.
There's a new thing.
I see. Cool. This is how the feeling of renewal my father wanted for me. Green hopes, new dreams, and fresh life. He told my mother, get the boys, go to the fabric bazaar, get her all the fabrics she wants, whenever she wants, as much as she wants. Bring it home and I'll make new clothes for my daughter. So he's just so happy that she's back. Her brain is back in Afghanistan. Well, I went to the bazaar, which is kind of like an outdoor store.
Bazaar mean like the
Same thing.
In
Oh.
Turkish.
Very cool. I went to the bazaar with my mother and my brothers. We spent the morning looking at fabrics. And you know fabrics. It's like the material that you make clothes from, like the shirt and your pants fabric. Fingering this one and that one, so she's touching all of them, discussing colors and styles and how much I would need of each item. Using the language of clothes, we talked about a new life for me. And that day we bought a lot of fabric, yards and yards of it. Having made my decision, I felt relieved and relaxed now, so she's at peace. Something wonderful uncurled and began to sprout in my heart. If you think like a little flower, when you plant a flower, it's like this big, and it sprouts, and then it becomes a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
Right, Mushtaba? You got it?
The character in you know, the character, first you're gonna start with level 1, and he's gonna grow up, right?
He sprouts.
Yep.
You're gonna, now
Okay.
mine is level 3.
All right, now we're talking about GTA. Fabulous.
GTA 5,
No,
by the way.
there's a different game than GTA. It's called a Sim.
Yeah. The Sims?
Yeah, that's
Oh, I've
Sim.
played The Sims. I love
I
The Sims.
played it
Okay,
before.
let's finish this.
I
We don't
haven't
want to
shared-
bore
I
these
haven't
guys.
stopped.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I'm writing it in my iPad.
Oh.
But all of them is disgusting. I didn't watch them like a long time ago.
Oh, cool. All right, let's finish this. We don't want to bore our other friends who are watching.
Yeah.
Far away in some other neighborhood, guns were going off and cannons were booming. I scarcely noticed it, just as I scarcely noticed the growl of traffic or the blare of horns in the background. So basically what she's saying is she hears guns and bombs in the background, like far away, but she doesn't even think about it anymore. I had grown accustomed to the sound of war. She's used to war. It was just city noise to me. I had become an Afghan girl again.
Yay.
Okay, well, you know, this girl has gone through a lot of changes, and finally she's back home.
Yep.
And now I understand why it says back home, question mark?
Yep.
Because she was back home but wasn't in her brain.
You know, like she back home.
And she was thinking about Germany.
Right, and now
Germany's bad. Germany's
and now what
bad.
is she like?
Now she's like Afghanistan.
She's all Afghanistan. All right, turn the page. And I want you to look. The name of this chapter is what?
Losing my family.
So what do you think happens to her family?
Miss Megan, don't read this.
I'm not, but I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye everybody. I'm going to upload this now.
Bye.
Later.